I know that one of my communication problems is I am very much a rambler. I will go from one thought to the next, and more effective marketing and more effective sales is really just to shut up. It's to filter, step back, trim out, condense it. And so the more you can simplify, typically the easier it is to clarify. And when we have a clear, compelling offer, sometimes we have to trim the fat, so to speak, or cut the fluff. And so we have a whole process. It's actually called themes analysis. After you compile all of your, it really is qualitative research. You're compiling all of it and you're condensing it. Theming is an actual term that happens in qualitative research. And typically you'll either need to chunk down or chunk up, or break down or chunk up. And we try to follow like the rule of three. We like to pair with a visual oftentimes because people are visual. And so if you are presenting a new offer, literally you can pick a shape. And so 3 might be like a triangle or 3 pillars. But if you have 5 things, then maybe it's a different shape, a pentagon, or maybe like a diamond. There's a lot of different ways to do it. One of the easiest that we teach is just a 3x3 grid. So you might have 3 pillars of your framework or methodology, whatever the thing is that you're offering or teaching. And then maybe there's 3 steps within each. And for some of those, you might need to chunk down and compress because it's really meaty to get to 3. And others, it's like, we've got 2, but let's split the second one into 2 just to make it easier to understand. And then it's a nice, pretty picture. So there's a lot of components that go into it. But I think the most common mistake that people make when it comes to presenting or creating a clear and compelling offer is getting in their own way, because they're romanticizing an idea that they're coming in with, and they're not actually listening to the market. It's kind of like in a conversation when you're listening to speak rather than like listening to respond. And sometimes you might even be fooling yourself even when you go through this process, because you're going through the steps, but you're kind of just going through the motions. It's almost like nodding along when someone's talking and just waiting and waiting and waiting. And then it looks like you listened, but you were going to say what you were going to say no matter what came out of their mouth. That's not collaborative value creation. That's not the way to create a clear, compelling offer. You really need to take their language and then translate it. We want to mirror it back to them. And that's how you know it's going to resonate, because you're actually using the words that they used, not what you think is important. And that's the difference in sales between giving someone what they need versus selling someone what they want.